When I heard that Al Franken had announced for the Senate, I decided I'd take my mother at her word that you can be anything in America if only you try. I may not be a professional comedian. Lord knows we got enough of those in Washington. But I've been told I'm funny as hell. I just wish I could remember more of those times. In any case, politics has been called show business for the ugly, and I got some prerequisites. I also have Senator Joe Biden's original hair, and from what I understand, his undergraduate grades. As a former Mustang naval officer, I intend to sign my DD Form 180 before Senator John Kerry. And I was recently informed that I'm a war hero in the mode of Senator Tom Harkin, having spent my Vietnam-era combat duty flying low, primarily in Jacksonville and Philadelphia. Finally, the intro image should hint at the fact that it won't be any time at all before I'll be able to work in a fully bipartisan fashion with Senator Ted Kennedy. So today, I'm announcing my write-in candidacy for the Texas Republican nomination for Senate in 2008. One thing I know is that the average American has a much better sense of what's going on in this country than any isolated professional politician or comedian. We prefer solutions and not rhetoric. We're the ones that make this country work. Whatever party is out of power is always excited when they see a poll that says Americans think we're going down the wrong track. They think we're rejecting the current crop of clowns. I don't think they're right at all. For people of my age, no discussion about government health insurance or Pell Grants for education or even immigration reform really tags a thing that makes me feel uncomfortable. When I was fixing to enter first grade, my mother walked me to school the first day to show me the way. We lived in San Antonio proper. It was almost a mile, and she took me down a long alley and across 2 vacant lots to get there. She felt perfectly safe sending her little first grader off to school that way. All of our parents did. They might even lock us out of the house during the summer, telling us to make sure we were back by the time the streetlights came on. No excuses. Other than that, it'd be rare to find a locked door anywhere in the neighborhood. How many of you will even let your children play in the front yard without adult supervision? That's a sure sign we're going down the wrong track. How long are we going to suffer this? The psychosis of it is obvious. The government no longer feels responsible for your family's safety, and they acknowledge it by putting up signs like this in your neighborhood. The funny thing is that they want you to watch your neighborhood, but when it comes to something that's their responsibility, they'd call you a racist, bigoted vigilante, a xenophobe, a nativist. If you believe their numbers, there's a 1 in 30 chance a person walking down your sidewalk right now doesn't live in your neighborhood, doesn't speak your language, and the government doesn't know how they got into the country. But we'll go deeper into that another time. So, what's the solution? Our cell phones today have the ability to do global positioning and record video. We're soon going to have a tool we can give our children so they can monitor their surroundings, so we can detect and document problems in this changing environment. It's the 21st century. We could have a little badge, a neighborhood watch badge. From now on, we're going to flip the paradigm. We, the people, are going to be the watchers. It will auto-dial your home computer. No decision-making required. One touch or probably one word activated. The infrastructure for linking this web of data exists today in the Internet's Domain Name System WKS feature. Well-known system. We're finally going to start using the Internet to protect ourselves and our country. There's a new sheriff in town. It's us. U.S. The people. There's going to be a bright line drawn that marks the difference between antiquated governments and ours today. From now on, we'll watch them perform. Cops, health inspectors, in fact, any government inspector will be required to wear our CAM badge, but theirs will always be on for our review. Just like real life, little brother tattles on big brother to keep him in line. Lincoln, in the Gettysburg Address, called this American experiment democracy a proposition, something unique in the history of the world. Our founding fathers had 500 years of parliamentary history to look at, and yet they chose to make this more perfect union. Is there nothing we can learn from success? This American experiment has no guarantee of permanency. We're continually at war with the world's unbroken 5,000-year history of government suppression of their people. Today, in the midst of daily assaults from around the world, our elites and politicians can barely bring themselves to mention that our American traditions of individual freedom and free religious expression are worth protecting. We need bright lines, friends, to measure decisions in this global age. As we march through this election year, we'll draw the lines that separate us from the past. We need a new perspective for the century, a perspective that sponsors freedom, that strengthens it. That's why I'm a write-in candidate for the Freedom Republicans, people that want to work together to make solutions now. We'll jerk the reins back from the big government Republicans. If we work together now, today, we can make progress, move forward, and transform America for the future we've always expected for our children and ourselves. My opponent in the Republican primary, Senator Cornyn, is planning on spending millions of dollars to assure his reelection. Your support will be used to produce changes immediately. Our focus, reciprocity, and ingenuity. You can validate our concepts as we move along. Each of our position videos will have a step you can take. Take a first step. Call your cell provider and tell them you want a neighborhood watch badge. Video vigilantes, doing the job government refuses to do. Tell them Mark4 sent you. The write-in for U.S. Senator from Texas. We need to start raking him with some spurs. We are so done waiting for the world to change. Let's show up as the future.